There has been a lot of discussion around President Trump's threat to bomb bridges and power plants in Iran, and the airwaves are filled with Democratic and legacy media claims that this amounts to a war crime. This is false. Here are the facts, and quickly. First, to bridges. Bridges in a modern society with a mobile military serve a distinct, undeniable, and indispensable military purpose. All bridges are dual use. Under international law and under America's law of war, once a military dimension or advantage accrues to a bridge, hospital, school, or other structure, that structure ceases under protected civilian status and becomes a legitimate military target. The U.S. and its allies have aggressively destroyed bridges in most of the wars fought in the past 150 years. In World War I, the U.S. destroyed bridges over the Marne and elsewhere in Europe. In World War II, we destroyed all 26 bridges and rail trestles over the Seine River and many more. In the Korean conflict, we bombed thousands of bridges, big and small, over and over again. In Vietnam, we repeatedly targeted the Paul Dume Bridge and the Tan Hoi Bridge. In the Obama-led campaign against ISIS in 2016 and 2017, the U.S. bombed all 5 Tigris River bridges near Mosul, Iraq, and in Syria, all key Raqqa bridges across the Euphrates River. Between 2015 and 2019, some 130 bridges in Yemen were destroyed by a Saudi-led coalition heavily supported by American munitions and logistical support. War moves on bridges. War means destroying those bridges. We make movies about destroying those bridges. The bridge over the River Kwai, the bridge in Ramagan, the bridge over Toko Ri. Now, what does the U.S. military manual say about it? On page 251 and thereabouts, the legal authority states, quote, similarly, the possibility that bridges or tunnels would be used to assist in the adversary's military operations in the future could result in such objects providing an effective contribution to the enemy's military action, even though they are not being used at that moment for such purposes, close quote. Open quote again, this contribution need not be direct or proximate. The manual is filled with examples of lawful bridge destruction so long as the military potential exists. In Iran, their military missile capability moves around on trucks, as do their nuclear components. Despite this historical and legal clarity, plenty of experts on TV or in press releases will try to create a delusion of illegality. Now to power plants. In World War II, Allied forces, including the USA, targeted electrical infrastructure as part of our strategic bombing campaign to destroy Axis industrial capacity. Britain launched Operation Outward, sending 90,000 weaponized balloons toward power grids in Germany and thus destroying scores of Nazi power stations. In the Korean War, we bombed electrical power systems regularly to disrupt production. In the 1991 Gulf War, America continuously bombed Iraqi electrical generation, destroying more than 90% of the country's power grid. In the 2003 Iraq War, we did likewise. A recent Pentagon study stated, quote, electrical power has been considered a critical target in every war since World War II and will likely be nominated in the future. The War Manual states in section 5.6.8.5, titled, quote, examples of military objectives, economic objects associated with military operations, close quote. It reads, quote, economic objects associated with military operations or with war-supporting or war-sustaining industries have been regarded as military objectives. Electric power stations, I'm quoting, are generally recognized to be of sufficient importance to a state's capacity to meet its wartime needs of communication, transport, and industry, so as usually to qualify as military objectives during armed conflict. Close quote. It includes the case law. It's simple. In today's world, militaries and nuclear programs work on electricity. Yes, destroying the grid has always had a very bad civilian side effect, but that is the nature of warfare waged by any regime. And in this case, we are dealing with a regime run by religious fanatics who openly declare they want to die more than we want to live. And these people are determined to use nuclear weapons to make that happen. Destroying bridges and power stations, it's customary, legal, and necessary in our fight with the theocracy in Iran. Don't believe the false analysts. Prevailing in Iran means that the decent majority of that society can rebuild and again join the community of nations. This is Edwin Black.